who are joining us virtually and some of the that are actually here with us at the GCIS. Thank you, Minister.
Okay. I hope there is compliance here on social distancing and all that. I'm not very sure. We dealt with the people that don't stick with regulations over the weekend. I hope everybody sticks with the regulations here. National Commissioner of the South African Police, General Sitole, General Mfazi, members of the media, good afternoon to you all. Today marks exactly 6 years since former Bafana and Orlando Pirates captain Senzo Meyiwa was shot dead. His murder, which took place in Phosphorus in Ekurhuleni, brought the Meyiwa family immeasurable pain. It also sent shock waves across the country and the continent. South Africans from all corners joined the Meyiwa family in demanding justice for this brutal murder. But with no arrest, hope of whether or not Senzo Meyiwa's killers would be found began to fade away for some, but not for us in the South African Police Service. Despite heavy criticism from some quarters, we have always maintained that we are satisfied the matter investigation is progressing well. I have on numerous occasions also expressed my confidence that those suspected of this crime will be found and brought to book. Ladies and gentlemen, I still stand by this statement. 2018, the National Commissioner established a cold case team in response to many calls on various criminal cases which have not been successfully investigated. Months later, the murder case of Senzo Meyiwa was assigned to the cold case unit. Since then, the unit has worked tirelessly on this case. During these past 2 years, the Senzo Meyiwa murder case generated speculations of who could have been responsible for the sports icon murder. Despite this, the investigators never lost sight of their work at hand. While those speculations were rife, the case also attracted much media attention and media leaks touching on some aspects of the investigation. Members of the media, we really condemn these leaks and strongly believe that information may have been leaked in an attempt to derail the investigations. This is why, moving forward, the investigation team will be considering opening a case or cases of defeating the ends of justice to ensure such leaks never occur again. Despite this interference, the cold case team persevered. After gathering sufficient intelligence information and evidence, I am happy to announce that there's been a breakthrough in the Senzo Meyiwa murder case. The first 5 suspects have been arrested between 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. this morning in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal. These arrests are as a result of multidisciplinary integrated approach to this investigation, which is working closely with the Director of Public Prosecution. The South African Police Service and the prosecution team are confident that we have a watertight case against all 5 suspects. At this point, we cannot reveal any further information as investigations are still ongoing and more arrests cannot be ruled out. In conclusion, for us in the police service, it was always important to take time and work thoroughly on this case to ensure justice for Senzo Meyiwa. While 6 years have gone by, we remain confident that these arrests are the start of bringing closure for Senzo Meyiwa's family, friends, and fans, as well as millions of South Africans. Now, I will allow the National Commissioner to give more details on this arrest. Thank you very much.
Let me start by acknowledging the Honorable Minister, the Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, and media at large. Just by way of a little background, from the turnaround vision's point of view, we listened to the outcry of the public when the complaint about numerous cases which went cold and not attended to was raised by the public. From a strategic analysis, we then designed the cold case strategy. And as a service promise response, and following the public call for revival of specialized units, we then formally established the cold case unit. These are ladies and gentlemen who are very dedicated. Of the 5 suspects which the minister has just outlined, one of them is the key suspect suspected of having pulled the trigger in the Senzo Meyiwa case. But secondly, this particular process is backed up by forensic evidence connecting such suspect to the scene as well as the weapon suspected to be used. This investigation is continuing. We suspect that there would be more other arrests which could be effected as the investigation continues. But I also want to reiterate the fact that this has been a multidisciplinary collaboration, more explicitly expressing our appreciation to the NPA. The foundation of this case started from Gauteng under Advocate Chauke, who laid the foundation. Then it ended up in Pretoria. Advocate Baloyi finally dealt with this particular matter, and we received excellent cooperation of the NPA under the NDPP, and we are still working together moving forward. I also then finally like to congratulate the cold case unit, because this is a unit of 4. At the present moment, they have now inherited over 100 cases, but within the 100 cases, they've already arrested more than 40 people on those cases which they have revived, and these cases are going court. This is the report that we can give at the present moment, but as we proceed with the investigation, we will continue to update the nation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you very much, General. Let us proceed to the second phase of this press conference, which is taking the answers and questions. Can I maybe start here in Pretoria and see what hands are there, and then we could possibly go to the WhatsApp line, which is manned by Ignatius from GCIS. Let's take the first 3 or maybe 4 questions. I'll start with you, and I'll take, there you go. Okay, Barry?
Good afternoon, Mr. General. Barry Bateman from ENCA. First off, on the status of these 5 suspects, are you able to give us some details? Were they already in custody or on other crimes, or were some of them out with free and you had to go and arrest them this morning, or they're all in custody? Can you just give us those details? And then, General, on this issue of it being a cold case, 6 years is a long time. What was it that you managed to do to be able to clinch it now? Because the same evidence was available 6 years ago as it was now. What changed? Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. We'll take one, Linda.
Linda Bheki from Newsroom Africa. General, you say this is based on, in terms of the main suspect, it's based on forensic evidence. Is this forensic evidence linked to the firearm which was, discovered recently? Number 2, I want to find out about whether, Minister, you've spoken to the Meyiwa family about this, these news that you've just announced now, that you've made arrests. Does the Meyiwa family know, or they've just heard now, like the rest of South Africans?
All right. Thank you so much. Isaac?
The minister said the police believe that they have a watertight case. Do police have a confession maybe? And another question, this happens on the anniversary of the Senzo Meyiwa murder. Is it just a strange coincidence, or just the team seems to work very hard around this time?
All right. Thank you. I'll take those three questions, and I'll allow for the panel to respond.
Thank you very much for the questions. The first question on the status of this particular of these suspects. Firstly, whenever you follow the cold case principles, maybe it's important for me to start by indicating that at the last moments of the investigation, we had to use different investigation tactics. And amongst those was the application of the cold case principles. And when you apply the cold case principles, you conduct a cold case analysis against all individual suspects. Now, apart from the cases relating to, or the criminal activities relating to the killing of Senzo Meyiwa, through cold case analysis, you also discover other cases. And you then begin to tie that suspect down with all prominent cases from the cold case analysis. Therefore, some of these suspects, they were arrested while they were outside custody, but some were arrested or were charged because they were already in custody on other cases from the cold case strategic approach. So this is what I can say on the status. They've got different status. Then the difference in evidence. Remember, at the present moment, what is key is the ballistic evidence relating to the firearm. And up to this far, it is only now that we found the weapon. And we've been looking for the weapon for the whole duration of the investigation. But with the final tactics applied, we found the weapon, and fortunate enough, the weapon is ballistically connected to the crime scene. And remember, again, this is not an easy, but it's a very complex case. And it required quite a lot of investigation tactics to be applied. So the evidence, yes, wouldn't be different because the crime was committed. But the phases of uncovering the evidence, I think, are different. And the approaches are also different. Right from the word go, when the crime was committed, to start with, we didn't have a cold case strategy and we didn't have a cold case unit. And there wasn't a dedicated approach on cold cases. But as and when we came in, we agreed with the minister that we need to have a dedicated unit to focus on cold cases. That's why this case was allocated. The evidence linked to the firearm, I've already responded to that. There's ballistic link, and then it is processed through forensic. I am not sure. Look, one of the things that we want to avoid is conducting this investigation in the public domain. Whether we have confessions or not, I think that is very operational. But you will be part and parcel of the court process. You will see what is everything that we have there. But please take the word from the minister. We have a concrete case this time, and because it's backed up by the evidence. On the On the part of the anniversary, I'm sure the minister will also add, but it's not. It's something that has coincidentally went together with the cracking of the case. It's not that we have planned to make this announcement today because it's the anniversary. But coincidentally, I think the operation has been executed and the investigation has been finalized on that day. I think I will leave the space for the minister.
Perry. Good morning, Perry. You say the information has been always there. Well, information doesn't take us to court. What takes us to court is evidence. And I know you are a renowned crime reporter, so information doesn't help much in court. So still have to work on those. So I think that's part of working the matter. You say 6 years. I'm sure as a crime reporter you also follow those other investigations. People, they crack 20, 30, 40 years. 6 years, yes, is a long time. It would have been better if it was 6 weeks, 6 months. But here we are. We believe that South Africans will still have to live with us, that at least the work has been happening all the time. The family has been updated on other times, but not this time. We'd accept that this minister will be speaking to the family at about 6 tonight. The problem this time, there have been too many leaks. So we didn't want to further put the further confusion to the family as if we are briefing them on leaks, as if we are part of leaks as the police. But indeed, they are waiting for us. This morning, somebody spoke to the mother. They drank the coffee with the person who was speaking to the mother, and they spent an hour in the kitchen. The mother is waiting for us to speak to her this evening. I'm sure the brothers, cousins, and everybody will be there. The day the commissioner has explained. The watertight case, it's, as I said, that things that have built the case really are for the court. But what makes us very much confident is that it has been almost all the way with prosecution. That's why I want to be very thankful to the NPA on the matter, because police were not alone on this one. We have been with them, coming to the warrant of arrest and all that kind of thing. So it tells us that if it is agreed on that, as the South African police, we believe that the good work has been done, and is one case that would have been closely worked with the prosecution. So hence we believe that it is a tight case. Thanks.
All right, let's take the second round of questions. Ignatius, I believe there is a question on WhatsApp.
I'm Tom from Sitole FM and Amanda Watson from Citizen. They ask, when and where will the suspects appear in court, and what charges do these suspects face? Thank you for the own question.
All right, can we maybe take that? And before we wrap it up, I think maybe we just take the last round of questions here in Pretoria, if that's possible. I see two more hands. I'll start with you, a fresh hand. Put on your microphone, please.
My question is...
Who are you, sir?
My name is Senzo Meyiwa. So, my question is about the minister complaining about the leaks. I think the problem there are these leaks is because the media was not briefed from time to time about this case. So I think in future, to avoid this kind of leaks, the minister or the commissioner should address the media on issues, not on this case, but from time to time, because if we don't get updated about issues, we start asking around, and some of the officials involved in this particular cases, they start speaking, and you cannot blame them because there's a void, so they're trying to close that. That's my issue, that there were no constant briefing and update to the media, just by the way, passing statement here and there.
Sure.
I think instead of blaming the media, the ministry should look at what caused those leaks. Thank you.
All right. Do you have a question on top of that, Stephen?
My issue was just that constant briefing will solve leaks.
Got you. All right. Linda, that will be the last question for today.
Minister, you speak about 5 arrests, and we know that at the time of the shooting there were about 7 people in the house. Of these 5 people that are arrested, was anyone inside the house that we know was inside the house? Did you arrest anyone who was at the house on the night of the shooting? Number 2, there's a gentleman that's suing the police ministry for arresting him shortly after Senzo Meyiwa's murder. Are you looking to settle out of court in that matter? Have you reached out to him, given the fact that now you say that you have a watertight case and his case was withdrawn because you did not have evidence?
Thank you for that. That will be the last questions, General and Minister. And then we'll bring this press conference to a close.
Thank you very much for the question. The first questions, the suspects are appearing in the Boksburg Magistrate Court tomorrow. For now, it might just be too early for us to relate on the charges. They'll be put before them tomorrow because the investigation is still on and is continuing. Secondly, I think the minister will deal with the question of the media briefing, but we are always open to deal with the media. The arrests, whether in the house or not, I think what I can indicate for now is that 3 of the arrests were not necessarily in the house. But there's still again more arrests that are going to be taking place. And that also overlaps to the last question. I think if we extend on the arrest as per the investigation, the scope is going to get bigger than we have at the present moment. And as people get arrested, we will be guided by the investigation and what come out and what the police are able to detect. With regard to whether we have people who are suing the state and whether we are going to settle, until the final scope of the investigation is done, we will then know whether any suspect who might have been arrested before, did we make a mistake, and our legal team will then be representing us. They are actually the ones who are going to guide myself and the minister how to approach that particular matter. But up to this far, we will not necessarily say or conclude that we have arrested wrong suspects until we round off the scope. The investigation still continues and more arrests are coming. Thank you.
Well, the question of settlement has been properly answered, that for now we are all in the mix until the matter is finalized, and it will be a bridge that will cross as we arrive. like to. Almost Commissioner answered all the questions. Guys, so bored. No, don't come with your preemptive attacks here. Look, I absolutely don't agree with you. These things of leaks, they jeopardize investigation and compromise it quite badly and sadly. There are things that from the investigators we were told that we could have been there this time because of leaks and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, when those leaks have happened, there is not even a courtesy of confirming. But even when you want to confirm with us, how would you expect the minister to confirm the leaks? But people, they continue to write. I do want to tell your claim that it does compromise the investigations going forward. But let me stop there and say we will be investigating, including the people that you say they are from ourselves, because those I believe they are even worse than the people that receive the information from us. So we will, but we really want to take this matter very serious because it does impact big time in resolving and solving the cases when you create the court on the media and you allow people to speculate and talk things that are not there. Few things, even with the last article. A person who signed what you call this warrant was wrong, but the name was written of a person who signed warrant, and it was wrong. Quite several wrong things, and you begin to push people to chase wild goose. Yeah, I think it's one serious matter where you go and you say so and so signed and when actually it's not so and so, it's so and so who signed. Some names we put there that are not there. So it does give us a lot of problem and take us a little bit reverse. But in terms of working together, I would agree on that. But we will have to really see to it that we work together without pushing. Sometimes you get very much impatient because you want a scoop. We don't want a scoop from the South African police. We want to resolve a case. Your scoop might be scampering. Your scoop might be scampering our investigation in our case. So we request that sometimes you take just two steps back and one forward this time. Usually it's 2 steps forward and 1 back, so that to give that kind of a space. But here we are, and I hope that as we have said, we are looking forward to that March. This is a beginning on this one. March is still, we believe, coming, and then as you have said, we will have to work with you. It's a big story. In Senzo, everybody knows. He's a captain of Orlando Pirates, but more than that, was a national captain. I heard somebody speaking at Phosphorus saying there is a national leader, the president, but Senzo was a national leader, so he's close to the president. I might not deny it. He was a national asset to Senzo. We were at the funeral. It's one of the biggest funerals that took place in the stadium on the rainy day. But we were there, and we have gone, and we took a lot of flack, a lot of it. But we knew that we should not really get out of the way. We must really try to concentrate. We believe we'll be there. We believe the nation will get the answers that they've been always expecting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you very much, General. Unfortunately, there is one more question from WhatsApp, Minister. Ignatius, can you just take us through that question, please?
Thank you, Lorenzo. I have System Lambo from IONA. Was there a hit on Senzo Meyiwa's life? What can the police tell us about that? That's all.
Will you take that, General? All right.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. We are following on the investigation up to this far. And the evidence that we have collected is the one that we have shared now, that there's forensic evidence. But the investigation is still continuing. Soon, after court appearance and proceeding with the investigation, we will know exactly whether it was a hit or properly planned, and further outcome would dictate that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, General. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen of the media, for joining us this afternoon. We bring this press conference to a close. Thank you.
All right, then we get out of that media briefing then by Police Minister Nathi Mthethwa, as well as National Police Commissioner